live stream. Today is Wednesday evening, April 8th, 2026. We'll give it a few minutes for others to join and we'll get started. All right, we have some people joining here. We'll give it another minute or so. And good evening, AG. Hey, Pezon, how are you? Glad you guys could join again. It's going pretty well. Hope you guys are doing well also. And good evening, Rack Slap. Thanks for joining. So, in gun news, in 2013, the state of Illinois banned carrying firearms on buses and trains. And a day or so ago, the Supreme Court refused to hear the challenge, which is very disappointing. I mean, this has been going on since 2013. What I don't understand is how the Supreme Court refuses to even hear the challenge. You would think, even if they're liberal judges and they're going to strike it down, they should at least lie to you and hear it anyway and then throw it out. But to just blatantly say they're not going to hear it, that's just unbelievable. I mean, so you're in a bus or a train in Chicago and it's late at night and you have no way to defend yourself now. I mean, that's got to be ruled unconstitutional. I just don't know how they get away with that. I have a product coming tomorrow I can't wait to review. And it is a bat light. It's probably about this big. And it's got a flashlight in it. And it's also got a built-in stun gun. So that should be pretty interesting. It's good for people that want a non-lethal form of self-defense. Maybe they don't own a gun. Maybe they can't own a gun. Doesn't mean they don't have the right to defend themselves. So I can't wait for that to come. And Metsuits, my everyday carry. Depends on what day it is. I pretty much carry it out on. I pretty much carry all my firearms, but I got to say, probably if I had to choose one to carry regularly, it would probably be my Glock 29 10 millimeter. And EA7, bless you too. And we'll probably be having a giveaway in the next week or so. I do get a lot of duplicates, so I do pass them on. There's been a lot of talk in the gun industry, different lawmakers in different states that are um, trying to pass laws allowing felons to carry a gun. And in ethics, you're going to go bye-bye. I don't even understand why there should be a controversy. And I'd like to know what you guys think, but my feeling is someone is a felon and they paid their debt and they have been paroled. I don't see what the issue is because I look at it this way. If they're going to determine that the person that was let out of prison is too dangerous to carry a firearm, then maybe they should have just never let him out in the first place. Methuselah, yeah, I don't agree with that. Matter of fact, I think it's Ohio now or Virginia has just expanded their constitutional carry for any adult over 18 years old. I don't understand what the issue is where somebody 18 can buy a rifle or a shotgun, but not a handgun. I always thought that was stupid. Fan of Brandon. Yeah, well, in Tennessee, we also have, gun laws that are always getting passed for the better. We've been here 7 years now. Unfortunately, every gun law that's been introduced have all been pro-gun laws. So, and melted ice, you can go back in your mommy's basement now. Pezzo, I love my Echelon. When I bought the Echelon, they only had full size at that time, so that's what I got. But I have not had a single problem. I have found the Echelon to be very extremely reliable. It's one of my favorite guns. But no, I haven't experienced any mag problems whatsoever with my Echelon. Um, I did swap out the grip module for a full size OD green grip. I think it was only like $39 from uh, Springfield. But I'm curious, what do all you guys think about um, them allowing felons to own a firearm? Like I said, I personally, if they paid their debt to society and they've been paroled, um, I don't see an issue with it. If they're going to use the argument that the person is too violent, then they should have just never let them out of prison in the first place. Um, yeah, Pezzo, the OD Green is really nice. It's a good quality grip module. There's Duke. Welcome, brother. Um, I believe you can even get weights for it. They're like these little titanium rods to make it a little heavier. My only regret when I bought the Echelon is I probably should have waited for the compact to come out. Hey, Dale. Welcome. Uh, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't. I don't see the DOJ passing anything. I really don't. They're very wishy-washy. I mean, we definitely knew Pam was not a friend of the Second Amendment, but I don't see it happening. And they could do all the pushes they want for national reciprocity. It's never ever going to happen in our lifetime because the liberal-run states are not going to comply. But yeah, Pezzo, if my only regret is I didn't wait for the compact version to come out. Um, the full size echelon is a great quality gun, but it's just a little big. Gas prices near me, the gas prices today were $3.92. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, uh, Pezzo. They lump all of the felons into the same category, right? Um, a guy that's serving a prison sentence for a felon for inside trading and tax evasion, they were never a threat to anybody. So the problem is they lump them all into the same category, and they don't do an exception on a case by case basis. But like I said, the issue is if you're going to tell me that this guy is too violent and too dangerous to own a firearm, then they should have just never let him out of prison. And I apologize if I miss your comments. They really do scroll by very quickly. So if I miss your comments and I don't give you a shout out, I apologize. We have a lot of new people on the stream today, which is good. It means YouTube is pushing us out to more people. And if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like what we do here, we do these live streams every Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern, and every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. And this is an open forum. We'll discuss anything that is firearms and Second Amendment related. If you have a comment you want to make, just leave it in the chat and we'll answer them and we'll get to it. Well, that's the thing, Trip. You see that the Constitution doesn't have any buts in it. The Constitution doesn't say the right to keep and bear arms except if you were in prison or you have a felony record. There's no buts or excepts in the Second Amendment. But nonviolent people, especially, absolutely should get their rights back. And again, people that are deemed too dangerous to own a firearm, well, then why are these people out on the street? I mean, if you committed a crime that was that vicious and dangerous, you should never see the light of day. But they need to do something about classifying uh, different types of felons. 402 Sting, I'm glad you like your Kimber. I always wanted a Kimber, and a few years ago, I bought a Kimber Custom 2 1911 45 ACP, and I had nothing but trouble with it. It just jammed and jammed and jammed, and I got rid of it, and I'll never buy another Kimber. But um, that's how I am with any product. If I buy a product and I happen to get a bad one, I'll never buy another one. Now, what I should have done, though, I probably should have tried different magazines because with 1911s, I find that Wilson Combat and Chip McCormick magazines make a lot of the jamming go away. I agree with you, Pezzo. The problem is we don't really have a DOJ that's looking out for us. I mean, I don't understand. I still don't understand how the Supreme Court can choose to not even hear a case. I mean, we we need to have more people like Clarence Thomas looking out for us. You know what, 402 Sting? My feeling is if I buy a brand new gun, I spend $700 or $800 for it, I shouldn't have to send it back. I shouldn't have to get any work done to it. I mean, that's something I would expect from a Rock Island or a Tisas. I would not expect that from a $700 gun. There's just no excuse for that. However, um, I have learned over the years that when it comes to 45 ACPs, most of the jams are because of the magazine. And I only run Wilson Combat and Chip McCormick. And Chip McCormick is now owned by Wilson Combat. And I've never had a problem. I did get a lemon there, 402. It's just that, like I said, with anything, if I get a bad one, it makes me very, very leery to buy another one again. Um, was just like a problem I had with a Rock Island. A lot of people love them. I had a Rock Island 1911, took it to the range. It shot fine. Um, I was carrying it around for 2 weeks with one in the chamber and hammered back, cocked and locked. And I got home one day and I decided to go in the backyard and blast a few rounds off. I took off the safety, pulled the trigger, and it was frozen. I took the mag out, it would fire. Put the mag back in, it didn't fire. I sent it back to Rock Island. They said they fixed it. 2 weeks later, the same thing happened. Now, it worked at the range. I'm walking around with this firearm for 2 weeks, not knowing that it wouldn't fire. I mean, that would have really sucked if I needed it in an emergency. And Sultry Poultry, hello there. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us tonight. So when I bought my Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 10 millimeter, I found that it's very difficult to find a holster for it, which I wouldn't think there'd be a problem. But I was able to find one from Crossbreed called the Armor, and I'll be reviewing that holster this weekend. Every once in a while that'll happen. I'll buy a gun and can't get a holster for it, especially being left-handed. I found that when I bought the CZ 45 ACP. I couldn't find a holster for that either. All right, guys, this is your stream, so feel free to leave your comments and we'll discuss them. I don't really have any more gun news, and uh, haven't really purchased anything other than the Viper that I bought a few weeks ago that I haven't had a chance to shoot yet. Hopefully, I'll get to shoot that this weekend. That's a great question there, Bomb Pop. It is actually not illegal to wear body armor. Um, it is legal to wear body armor in every state. However, it is illegal to wear it during the commission of a crime. But as a law-abiding citizen, no, there are no laws that prevent you from wearing bulletproof vests. Oh, good for you, 402. I love guns that don't jam. Bomb Pop, I did a review from, oh, Silent Armor or something like that. And they sent me a bulletproof backpack, which is really, really cool. I don't know if, you know what, Author Stone, I don't know if you're messing with me or not. And the Wiggy, you're going to go back in your mommy and daddy's basement. How do you like that? You know, there's a couple Kimbers that I really like. I like the Raptide. That is a hot looking gun. But again, unfortunately, because I had a problem with my first Kimber, I will never buy another one. Yeah, I didn't know whether it was a joke or not, Arthur. Um, we do get a lot of liberals coming out of their mommy and daddy's basement. So, um, a lot of them like to agitate with their comments. So, um, that's fine. Like I said, I don't even care if we argue about something. Arguing is even good. Um, yes, Kimber did move out of New York. Kimber, I believe, moved to Georgia. And I want to give a special thanks to our moderators. Um, they do an outstanding job pushing all of the liberals back into mommy and daddy's basements. There's no way I could do this all on my own because we do get a lot of them on every stream. So I appreciate you guys. Yeah, when I bought my Henry, I bought the Henry lever action, Henry Big Boy, and I bought it in 357 Magnum because I reloaded a boatload of 357 Magnum. So that's why I got it in that caliber. But the 4570 is very popular in the Henry. Matter of fact, when mine came in and I went to pick it up, two people had a 4570 that came in. Well, you did the right choice there, Pezzo. I mean, I really don't see any point of a 380, and I'm not a fan of micros. I just don't see the point of a 380. Right, Duke? What else don't I see the point of? All right, Sultry Poultry. Well, we're glad to have you again. Thanks for joining and stopping by. And Cheeseburger, you're going back in your mommy and daddy's basement. Yeah, I knew you saw that coming. Yeah, you know what? You know what, Arthur? The the Beretta Cheetah is a great gun. I mean, don't get me wrong. It also Springfield now is making the Hellcat in 380. My three choices for 9mm ammunition is Federal Punch, Sig Sauer, and Hornady Critical Duty. I normally carry the Hornady Critical Duty um, most of the time. I also have some Black Talon, which I'm really not supposed to have. Um, it's really only for law enforcement. You know what, Stoic? There's nothing wrong with a 1911. Um, one of my favorite guns I bought was a Springfield Emissary a few months ago. It was $1,300 and was on sale for $699, and that is badass. And yes, Duke, we have gun shows every weekend in Tennessee. Uh, at stores, fire departments, they're everywhere. Um, but the Emissary, like I said, for $699, I couldn't beat that. That is a hot looking gun. And you know what? All these people, when I go to these gun groups on Facebook, you got all these people with these 20 round magazines, like they're going into Afghanistan. My take on that is if you feel that you need more than 15 rounds, it's probably because you don't train and you have a lack of confidence in your shooting ability, right? Um, if you go by the FBI statistics, where the average gunfight is 3 rounds fired at 3 yards in 3 seconds, even if you had 5 attackers at 3 shots apiece, that's 15 rounds. You don't need more than 15 rounds. Matter of fact, if you have 5 attackers, you're going to die. One of them is going to shoot you. So you're not even going to get off 15 rounds. So who are we kidding? I just think that everybody that is so worried about having 100 rounds of ammo is because they lack confidence in their shooting ability. Yeah, when 7 years ago, when we first moved here, Duke, they had a gun show at the Shriners Hall, and my wife and I went, and I won a 9mm Daniel Defense, um, and it was really weird. Um, you had to be present to win, and they called two numbers, and I guess the people weren't there, and they called the third one, and that was ours, and we won it. So, but yeah, the fire department here has uh, gun shows, and they have gun raffles at the fire department too. Yeah, that would have been a long time ago, Duke. I bet you any money they don't have no gun shows in Maryland now. But anyway, I'd like to know what your thoughts are about how much ammo to carry, because I'm still thinking you don't need more than 15 rounds. If you need more than 15 rounds, um, you really need to be spending more time at the range. I've never actually been to a turkey shoot. I see them posted out here on Facebook all the time. I've never been to one. I just got new tritium front night sight for my Colt Viper, which I still haven't fired yet. Um, but I am going to put that tritium front night sight on it. The only thing I don't like about that Viper is that blacked out front sight. My eyes are it's too old to be looking at black sights. Yeah, I don't know how the turkey shoots work. I don't even know what they are. I just know out here I see posts for them all the time. I agree with you, Pezzo. Matter of fact, um, I'm I'm okay with 6 rounds, to be honest with you. Um, I'm perfectly confident if I'm carrying a 357 Magnum. First of all, with a 357 Magnum, you don't need to do a double tap like the 9mm guys do. I'm perfectly comfortable carrying a 6-shot 357 revolver. Because if I have to fire more than 6 rounds, I'm screwed anyway. Yes, I agree with you, Muff Diver, that your accuracy does drop. However, the average gunfight is 3 to 7 yards. You should be able to hit that blindfolded. So, and I'm not buying 50%. Exactly, Pezzo. I agree. I'm perfectly confident that if I'm shooting a revolver and I only have 6 rounds, I'm going to have enough ammo. Well, you may need more than one Duke, only because, you know, the bad guys wear body armor now. And if they're strung out on meth, if you're using a 9mm, uh, you just may not be able to take them down with 1 or 2 rounds. And Gold Cazador, hello to you. Thanks for joining. I just think that personally, hey, there's Jib Jab. Welcome, brother. See, Duke, you blocked me. I was going to say that. But seriously, dude, I, I go to these Facebook groups and I see these mental patients that have 25 round magazines in their Glocks like they're going into Afghanistan. Um, that just shows me that they have a lack of confidence in their shooting abilities. Um, if you need to carry 20, 30 rounds of ammo, you should probably be spending more time on the gun range. Or carry a caliber that's big enough that you don't have to waste 2, 3 shots on. I agree with you there, Jib Jab. And Midas Knight, thank you for your service. Thanks for joining. But you're taking pot shots at me there, Duke. You're baiting me, Duke. But you know when when I go to these gun forums, um, I just get a kick out of these people. Everybody wants to be the cool kid on the block, right? So they have a weapon light that's about the size of a baseball bat, um, protruding from their gun. And they think they're the cool kid on the block, but they look like a bunch of mental patients. You know what, Gold Skador? I have a Smith & Wesson FPC 9mm, and I could put that in the backpack too as well. Didn't see me at Aldi's today. But anyway, I mean, I get it that, you know, people spend money on guns and, you know, they want to personalize them. But everybody thinks that they look cool, and they really look like a mental patient. You know, you have a weapon like the size of a baseball bat and a 30-round magazine sticking out of your gun. You just look like a jackass. On top of that, having a weapon light, I think, is just stupid. I mean, I really don't understand why you would use your gun and point a loaded gun at somebody to use a flashlight. Well, again, Midas Knight, thank you for your service, brother. Glad to have you here. We have a bunch of new people that joined the stream, and welcome back, Sultry Poultry. We do this live stream every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern and every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern. I don't understand what you're asking, Ty. My chapter, what chapter? And Flat and Normick, you're going to mommy's basement. Yeah, optics are a good thing there, Jabba. Nice to meet you too, Midas, and glad you found us. To answer your question, Ty, I retired from my club when I moved out of New Jersey. So when we moved to Tennessee, I don't belong to a motorcycle club anymore. I was president of my club in New Jersey, and I retired there. And now when we ride, it's a lot more fun to be able to look at the sights than to look over my shoulder and see what colors are running up on me. Yeah, my eyes are getting old too, Jib Jab. I did find a bit of a learning curve with the optics. And thank you for subscribing, Midas. I appreciate that. You know, when I first started, it was like, you know, the cat chasing the laser pointer. But after a little practice, you can really get quick target acquisition as long as you have suppressor height sights that you can co-witness in case the optic does die. And that's something some of the new shooters make as a mistake. New shooters go out and they get a gun with an optic, and they never learn how to shoot with iron sights. And then when the optic either breaks or the battery dies, they're screwed. You should be able to shoot both. You know what, Pezzo? I like H&K. I really do. But $32.99 is a little out of my price range. Yeah, when we lived in New Jersey, I'll be honest with you, I missed the club. I missed the guys. We had a lot of fun, man. A lot of memories. I mean, we spent 10 years together, which is actually a long time considering all the wars that went on between clubs out there. Well, that's got to be a little goofy, Duke. I mean, fortunately, I'm left-handed, but I'm left-eye dominant. That's got to be weird. You see, that's the good thing about using an optic, though, is with an optic, it's very easy to shoot with both eyes open. Um, and I've been, you know, shooting with one eye closed for a long time, but every time I go to the range, I try to shoot with both eyes open, but I think my brain makes me automatically uh, close one eye. It just happens. You know what, Jib Jab? That seems to be the trend now. Um, a lot of guns are coming with a either fiber optic or a tritium front night sight with the blacked out rear sight. Me, my eyes are getting old. I can't see anything through that blacked out sight. I'm not a fan on that. So um, I replace the sights on all my guns with tritium night sights. Um, yeah, you know, I just can't see the all black anymore. Yeah, the FNX is a nice gun. Um, and I like my optics, I really do. But even when I'm using the optics, um, I still co-witness my sights. Just yeah. Go on, Duke. You know what, Sultry? It's your first 45, but I guarantee it won't be your last. Hence, Pro Gun 45. I got a lot of them. I love the 45s. Uh, Jib Jab, see, you and Duke are tag teaming me. I agree with you, Pezzo. What I typically do uh, on my tritium night sights is I usually go with a green front and red rear. Yeah, you always remember your first 45. It's like your first girlfriend. Never forget it. You know what, Sultry? All that matters is that you can shoot it. And 45 is awesome. Hence Pro Gun 45. Yeah, 1911 won 2 world wars. Um, it's no accident that after all this time, they're still selling a lot of 1911s. Um, I got to say, though, I have a Glock 21 45 ACP. And in my opinion, I think that Glock 21 is the best non 1911 45 ever made. It's full size. Then because I like that so much, I got the little baby brother compact Glock 30. What's not to like about the 45, Sultry? It's an awesome caliber. Big hole, a lot of blood, a lot of wounds, a lot of takedown power. And honestly, the recoil's not really that bad. I mean, most of the people that carry a 9mm that cry about recoil, I mean, geez, they never even shot a 38 plus P revolver. Yes, Pezzo. Matter of fact, I was actually looking into that. Um, I wound up getting the Ruger GP100 a few months ago. Um, I wanted to get the SP101. Only the only deal breaker is the SP101 was only 5 rounds, but it is built like a tank. Exactly, Jib Jab. You get a good quality 45. Fortunately, except for like the XD series, there's not many polymer frame 45s. It's like my Colt government model and my Springfield emissary. Because of the weight, there's really no recoil. And honestly, um, we took the motorcycle for a ride last Saturday, and I was carrying my Colt government model, full size 5 inch. And I got to tell you, riding a motorcycle, I think the 1911 is the most comfortable gun that I've worn while I ride a motorcycle. Um, and that is because the grip module is very thin. And you're carrying a Glock with a big ass grip module that's that thick, it pushes up against your side. Um, I think the 1911 conceals much better. You know what, Sultry? I'm a fat guy. And when you carry, you typically have to adjust your clothing. There's no way around it, right? So I try to wear clothing that's a little bit bigger. Pants that are a little bigger, shirts that are a little bigger. However, I live in the great state of Tennessee, and we're allowed to open carry here. So um, I normally open carry because I don't have to worry about it. And, being a fat guy, I don't want to have to fight with my belly and my clothes to get to my gun. Now, you know what, Jib Jab? Honestly, I'm not really a fan of a shoulder holster. Um, the reason for that is I've evaluated a few of them, and um, I'll get right to you there, Pezzo. I've tried a few shoulder holsters. The gun is never pointing in a safe direction. They're always like flopping around. I carry appendix. If I'm on my motorcycle, I could easily take it out. And fortunately, um, the throttle's on the right and I'm left-handed, so I could gas it up and pull out my firearm and shoot at the same time. So, Pezzo, we got 2 years ago, we got rid of the Electroglide Limited and we got the Tri-Glide Ultra. So I went down kicking and screaming over getting a trike, but um, you know, there's going to come a day that I have my wife and I on the bike, and I'm not going to be able to hold it up, and I don't want to be out in Colorado. So I decided to do that on my terms. That's okay if you're drunk there, Sultry. As long as you don't bother anybody, I don't really care. Matter of fact, I think you make more sense drunk than some people make sober. And look at all the people that Duke and I had to put away tonight. No, I never rode a trike before. Traded in the Electra Glide Ultra and got the troke. Got the trike. And I found a hell of a lot of a learning curve, to be honest with you. You know what? You know what, Pezzo? The difference is having a trike means the difference of whether we ride or not. I've been riding a motorcycle for 50 years. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. And I don't care now if it rains or there's gravel on the ground. I do miss my Electroglide, but when I ride the trike on Sunday, I don't feel like I got the crap beat out of me Monday morning, number one. Number two, I don't care if it's raining because I don't have to put my feet down, especially when we lived in New Jersey. New Jersey was horrible. Taking the Garden State Parkway, you have all the buses going to Atlantic City and all that oil coming down. And when it starts raining and that oil comes up off the ground, you got to put your feet down. The two wheels are in the back. They're Trump. Yeah, you know what, Jib Jab? They actually are. I guess because I've been riding on two wheels for 40 years, the tendency is to try to lean the bike over, right? Because you don't steer a motorcycle, you lean it. And, you know, when I first picked up the trike, the guy had me riding around the parking lot, do a few laps around the parking lot. And I felt like a mental patient because you're trying to lean this thing and it ain't going anywhere. You actually have to turn it. So that was a huge curve. And every once in a while, I still try to counter steer or lean it over, but I catch myself real quick. I do this and realize it isn't going anywhere, and then I do this. What's also creepy is that you can feel the rear axle shifting underneath the seat, and it feels like it's going like this, right? And it feels like you got one wheel coming off the ground, but you really don't. It's just creepy. Yeah, you know what, Sultry? Everybody don't like the idea at first, but let me tell you, there's nothing like being on a motorcycle. I hate driving a car. Um, I only drive a car because I have to. If it was up to me, I would take a bike every day. Um, I could ride the bike all day long. Car, I get bored. Um, I feel safer on a motorcycle than I do in a car because on the bike I can get out of the way quicker. Yeah, you know what, Duke? That's something I've never done. I've never gone hunting. I always wanted to go hunting for like wild boar and stuff, but maybe when I retire. But I don't know. I'm a fat guy. It seems like way too much work dragging this big ass deer through the woods. Um, I never heard of the beady buck. Yeah, there's a lot of differences there, Jib Jab. But there is a learning curve. I got to tell you. I mean, I guess it's like having optics on a gun, right? A new shooter will probably pick up optics right away because they don't have to unlearn. And when you buy a trike, there's a lot of unlearning to do. Um, but again, I'd rather be riding than sitting on the couch. So we have wild hogs here in Tennessee. I always wanted to do that. But, there's no way my fat ass is carrying a 500-foot hog through the woods. You know what, Joseph? That's a very good point. When you're on a motorcycle, it is hard to lose your concentration because you have to focus so much. It's not like when you're in a car where I just wasn't paying attention because not paying attention on a motorcycle, you can't do that for more than a second. KLBC, yeah, there is nothing like riding a motorcycle for therapy. I got to tell you that. But I should actually post a picture of my bike as a comment. I got tags for my motorcycle that they would have never given me in New Jersey. And the tags on my motorcycle say biggun. And I can guarantee you that New Jersey would have never approved that. And I don't know what you're getting at, Joseph. I'm trying to decide whether you crawled out of mommy's basement or not. You know what? Casso BC, any bike is a good bike. Exactly, Duke. I mean, some people choose to talk about way out things, you know. If people here have a common interest, that's fine. Yes, when we lived in New Jersey, um, I tried to get Big Gun for a license plate. And when I applied for it, I was turned down. And in Tennessee, it went right through. And that's what I got, Big Gun. Matter of fact, my tags just came up for renewal here. That's an interesting question, Pezzo. Um, the 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 problem I have with the 41 and the 44 Magnum, especially for defense, is it's just way too much over penetration. Unless you're going to be hunting elk or bear, I really don't see the point of that. 357 Magnum is much more suited for defense if you have hollow points. And James, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yep, southern states are awesome for outdoor stuff. Yes, Jib Jab, I love that fiber optic sight I put on the GP100. I also put fiber optic sights on my Smith & Wesson 686. And then I just got in the mail today tritium front night sight for the Colt Viper, which I will be putting on that this weekend. And Gundog, welcome, brother. Good to have you back. And we got a lot of new people today, which is a good thing. If you like what we do here, we do this every Wednesday evening at 8 Eastern. And every Saturday at 12 noon. And Smuggy, you can go back in your mommy's basement. Yeah, if I had to pick one, um, I don't know what to tell you, Pezzo. I would probably go with my Colt Python first, and then my Smith 686 because I like that seventh round. Then the Colt Viper, and then the Ruger GP 100. Nope, nothing like the great outdoors. That's one thing I love about the great state of Tennessee. We have the best parks in the world. We got the Great Smoky Mountains, um, tons of lakes for fishing. Yeah, those Leopold scopes are awesome. A little expensive, but they're good. The GP 100 is an awesome gun. It really is. I mean, it's it's a workhorse. Um, sorry, that's a good revolver, Jib Jab, for your first revolver. Um, that GP 100 is a freaking tank. It'll last longer than you will. Um, One thing I would recommend, though, Jib Jab, on that GP 100, if you haven't looked at my review, please take a look at it. I bought the rosewood grips from Ruger, and they are rubber grips with a rosewood insert that gives you the best of both worlds. So it gives you the rubber to reduce recoil, but it gives you the beautiful look of the rosewood. It's really nice. Yep, I have a 686 as well, only a 3 inch. Oh, good for you, garage guy. That's an awesome gun, I got to tell you. Um, when I got my Colt Python, if people wonder why the Colt costs $1,500. When you pull that double action trigger on that Colt Python, it's like butter. That's where the money is. Um, but that Ruger GP 100, if you're talking about a gun that will last you forever, it's built like a tank. It'll outlive you. You can't go wrong with the GP 100. GP 100 is built better than the Smith and Wesson 686. Uh, I just like the 686 because I like the 7 rounds. Yes, Joseph, it's because of the barrel. It's because of the barrel length. I have a 3 inch GP 100, and the 3 inch barrel does not come with adjustable rear sights. Neither does the Viper. But I only get my revolvers in 3 inch because I carry every gun I own, and if I'm going to carry a revolver, a 4 inch barrel is just too bulky. So, um, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that channel groove uh, without having a rear sight on the revolver. Um, it only takes about 10 minutes to get used to that. But I am looking forward to testing out that Viper this weekend. I did get a tritium front night sight for that. It's a green front night sight from XS Sights, um, because that blacked out front sight, I just can't see it with my old eyes. Early bird, you must be in cahoots with Jib Jab and Duke, trying to get me wound up over that 40 caliber thing. You know what, Randy? My take on the Taurus is Taurus makes great revolvers. They really do. I owned a lot of Taurus revolvers. Never had a failure. But their semi-automatics are touch and go. One other thing on that Jib Jab, you got to keep in mind, if you're carrying a revolver, a 4-inch barrel on a revolver is different than on a semi-automatic. Makes the overall length exceptionally long. And also, trying to draw a 4-inch barrel out of a holster. And actually, early bird, I actually am not a Glock guy. Used to be. Never will be again. I don't like that they sold out, and I will never buy a Glock again. And don't get me wrong, early bird. I own a lot of Glocks, and I love them, and I'll never get rid of them. But I don't like what they did by killing all of their products and releasing them as a V series or a Gen 6. So, Gundoggin, watch my videos on that. Nail polish comes off. And what I recommend, just like I do when I color fill my guns, I use Tester's model paint, the enamel, and that'll never come off. I also bought these paint pens from Birchwood Casey. And that's your right, Sultry Poultry. I don't hate the Glock guns. I just don't like the company anymore. And I think Catherine Glock is going to just manage it into the ground. Yeah, you know what, Garage Guy? I agree with you. The SP-101 is a good carry choice, but I bought the GP-100 with a 3-inch barrel because of the 6 rounds, and that is also a great carry gun. And Funsky, welcome to the live stream. And again, if you like what we do here, we do this every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern, every Saturday at 12 noon. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button. We're very close to hitting 8,000 subscribers, and then we're going to go to 10. Well, and also the thing with Glock is they made a lot of money off of their name and reputation. But there's a lot of other guns for that money that are going to go bang every time as well. You know what, Jib Jab? Not only are they too slow to innovate, they don't innovate. Glock hasn't innovated in 30 years. Everybody left them in the dust. Everybody else came out with a optic ready version, right? Um, I'll get right to you, early bird. Glock charges you $150 more for MOS version, right? Most guns now come with night sights. All the money you spend on Glock, they still give you plastic sights. Glock hasn't done anything innovative. And like I said, for the money now, there's a lot of guns I'd put up against Glock. Early bird, my opinion of SIG, I love SIGs. I love my P320. I have a P320 in 9mm, 45 ACP, and 10mm. And guess what? Contrary to popular belief, my SIGs have never gone off. My SIGs have never shot people. And unless you're Ben Affleck, guns don't just go off. Yes, exactly, Sultry. If you're going to promote a firearm as a defensive gun, it should be optic ready out of the box. Not only that, it should be modular now. Yes, I have that P320 C45 jab. It does carry well. I also have the P320 X10 comp. But yes, any gun that's being touted as a defensive firearm should be optic ready out of the box, number one. And almost everybody now is going to a modular system. Ruger. Springfield did it with the Echelon. Sig Sauer. You should be able to take the fire control unit out and buy any grip module, slide, and barrel you want without having to go through an FFL. Now, what I did do last week, I picked up Lone Wolf had a frame on sale, and it is a Glock compatible frame for Glock 20/21. So I can put a 10mm or 45 ACP Glock slide on that frame. And I bought it because it was reasonably priced, and it allows me to do like a Frankenstein build and build my own gun. Probably going to be a 10mm. I may buy a 10mm and a 45 ACP slide and just switch them back and forth. Yes, 3 magazines should be standard, but hell, I paid $1,000 for my Colt government model and only came with 1 magazine. My Smith & Wesson 10mm I just bought only came with 2. I gotta love you there, Sultry. I appreciate the entertainment. Yeah, that's right, Jib Jab, and not for nothing. Those 1911 mags are expensive. The Smith mags are expensive. But I guess the logic is, people are spending the money, right? So you can't blame them. I mean, you go buy a magazine for almost any gun now, and the magazines are like $30, $40. And Brian, hello to you in Texas. Thanks for joining. Unfortunately, we start this stream at 8 o'clock Eastern, and it does end at 9. And we do this at 12 Eastern on Saturdays. And we do this every week, twice a week. This is what my subscribers have asked for. It's like a family here. We have a lot of good conversations and joke around a lot, and it's just a lot of fun. I really look forward to it. I love the relationship I have with all you guys, and I just look forward to every time we do a stream, having communication again. And thanks for subscribing, Brian. All right, we got 4 minutes left, so it's almost like the 2-minute warning. You have something you want to get out? I appreciate that, Randy. I try to do the best I can, and obviously people do enjoy it because we do have loyal followers on Wednesday and Saturday, and it's a great place to learn. I know I learned from you guys, and hopefully you guys learned something from No Man here. And it's a great way to share information, and also, everybody has different experiences with a firearm, so it's good to know what people have experienced, good, bad, or indifferent. I appreciate that, Brian, and we will be here Saturday. I'll save your question for Saturday there, Gundoggin. And thanks, Randy. I appreciate that. And again, to the people that are new on this channel, if you like what we do here, please subscribe. Channel's really growing. We're very close to 8,000 subscribers, and we hope to have 10. And you're welcome, Randy. I just really enjoy doing this. All right, guys, we're going to end this stream now. Thank you all so much. And I'll answer that last question, Pezzo. I'm not a fan of slings. It gives you bad... it allows you to pick up bad habits of not holding the gun properly. So I'm not a big fan of having a sling for a home defense shotgun. If you're out in the woods hunting, that's another thing. As always, Jib Jab, you're welcome, brother. And thank you for joining. Always appreciate having you and your support. Thank you all for your support. Appreciate it. You all have a great evening. And for those of you that are going to make it Saturday, we'll talk to you again Saturday. Thank you, guys. Till next time. And ciao, Pezzo. Thank you.